What's going on, everybody? It's been a while since I've been back. Job and everything. It's kind of limiting my YouTube stuff. So, how's everybody been? Today I'm going to be doing a ranking of a franchise that is my absolute favorite. And when I say absolute favorite, I mean it is my favorite horror franchise of all time. I'm going to be ranking the Halloween films. Still got no camera. I'm in the process of a bunch of stuff. Let's just put it that way. So, it goes without saying, I love all but 2 films in this franchise. Some I like, some I love, some I cherish. There's only 2 films in this franchise I cannot stand. Period. And bottom of the barrel, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. If you are a Halloween fan, you know why. If you're not a Halloween fan, let's break it down. First thing is the way he treats Michael. The mask is barely worn. And when it is worn, it is torn, it's decrepit. It gives off an eerie look that is goes without saying. But he hardly ever wears the mask. And when he does wear the mask and he goes to kill, he's not using a butcher knife. He's using I want to say it's a hunting knife. Kind of looks like Rambo's knife. And then he makes him talk. Complete stupidity, in my opinion. And the film is just bad. It gives off like a horrible feeling vibe to it. But that's just me. I don't like it. I never liked the film. Both versions of the film I do not like. One of the cuts of the film, I believe it's the theatrical version, I could be wrong, Michael dies. And then in another version of the film, Laurie puts on the mask and she dies. It's like, what? Either way, I do not like it. I've never liked it, and I probably won't like it. Let's see. Number 11 is Halloween Resurrection. Awful. Awful, awful, awful. Halloween Resurrection does not even need to exist. You retcon a wonderful ending in Halloween H2O only to bring Laurie back for a total of 5 minutes, then have her get stabbed in the back, kiss Michael, and fall to her death. Only for them to basically... It's a POV found footage Halloween film that should have been made by MTV Films. It feels like it's kind of what the last 4 Hellraiser movies is to Halloween. This doesn't feel like a Halloween film. It's never felt like a Halloween film. And the way that Michael gets treated is almost it's awful. Busta Rhymes karate kicks Michael in the freaking head. Electrocutes him by sticking a live wire on his nuts. Makes a Kentucky Fried Chicken joke. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part about this film is at one point in the movie you see Michael come through a doorway. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool tracking shot. And then in comes another Michael, and you're like, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? There's 2 Michael Myers? And then, boom, Busta Rhymes is the first Michael, and he's just laying into Michael, screaming obscenity after obscenity. I left the back door unlocked for you to go hang out with Nora. I left the back door unlocked. And starts poking him in the fucking head. Mustafa Akkad, the man that made it a cardinal sin in horror films, that Michael can never die. At no point will Michael ever die. It is a written rule made by Mustafa Akkad, who passed away shortly after the film was made due to terrorist attacks in the Middle East. The fuck are you doing? We can't kill Michael, but you'd rather have some rapper poke him in the head and not get filleted? Come on, man. I mean, I know you paid Busta Rhymes a lot of money to be in the film. But there is also another cardinal sin. If you see it's an underlying rule in the horror films, in the horror community. If you see a rapper in a horror film, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be bad. But that's just me. Limit H2O in that because it was a pretty decent film, and LL Cool J was an actor at that point. Hawaii 5-0 counts, I guess. I don't know, but that's just me. It's a horrible film. The only reason why Halloween H2O, or not H2O, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is below it, is because they're interchangeable. On any given day, these two could flip for me. Number 10, somewhat better, somewhat worse, some might say, is Halloween 5. Nick Cage, Michael Myers, basically. This one's more of a guilty pleasure for me. At the time, whenever I was like 8 or 9 years old, my mother went to some store, came back with 4 different Halloween movies for me because she got them in a bargain. She came back with Halloween 6 on VHS, Halloween 5 on VHS, Halloween H2O on VHS, and Halloween 2, the 1981 version. And for some reason she couldn't get her hands on 4. I don't know if the place where she went didn't have it. I don't know. But I popped this one in, and the opening shot is actually really cool. A hand is stabbing a pumpkin. You give the impression that it's Michael, but there's never been a confirm nor deny on this. And then I didn't watch Halloween 4 until later on. Let's just put it that way. So at this time, I didn't know the connection with Rachel and Jamie. After rewatching the films later on, I've realized that it does do something horrible, which is shit on the movie that came before. The same reason that Halloween Resurrection is as bad is because it shits on the movie that came before it, which was a really good movie. Movie starts off, Michael going, whenever he gets shot by the police and everything, falls down a storm drain, goes down what looks like a creek or a river, and he ends up on this drifter's doorstep, basically, and goes to sleep for a year, presumably. All while this bird is just going fucking ape shit, trying to warn him that Michael's standing up and he's going to fucking strangle him half to death. But before that, we see the thorn tattoo. Oh, what does this mean? Nothing. Absolute fucking nothing until the next movie. But you have an annoying and a very annoying character in Tina who will not shut the fuck up from the moment she gets on the screen. You're like, okay, when's Michael going to slit her fucking throat? All she does is just joke about sex and everything. I mean, it's a Halloween film, but it feels more like a Friday the 13th film if you ask me. The one thing I never knew as a kid was that they changed the Michael Myers mask, and whenever I saw this, I'm like, this isn't a Halloween movie. This is not the Michael Myers that I know. The Michael Myers I know is the mask from Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. Those are the Michael Myers masks. These are not real Halloween films. That's what I thought as a kid. But inevitably they are. Just tucking the fucking mask, man. How hard is that? How hard is it to flip a collar, button that top button? I mean, I know you got to leave a little bit of a shirt, obviously, because Nick Castle done it in the first film. But come on, just button up one more button, tuck in that collar, and you might have had a better freaking shot. But anyway, it's a watchable bad horror or Halloween film, but it's still a bad Halloween movie. Number 9 is Rob Zombie's Halloween. Normally, in every ranking I see, this one is a little bit higher. It has fallen way the fuck down for me. So, like I said, I've been a Halloween fan for as long as I can remember. My earliest memory of watching a movie was me sitting on my dad's lap watching Halloween 2. He did not have the first Halloween film, unfortunately, but that is my earliest memory of watching movies. To the point where it would inevitably give me nightmares as a kid, but I overcame them. And fast forward to 2007, I see a trailer on... If you had Charter Cable or Suddenlink TV, where I grew up, you would go to the movie channels and it would play trailers for upcoming movies. I did not know at the time that there was a new Halloween movie supposed to be released, and all of a sudden it popped up. Rob Zombie's Halloween. And I would watch that trailer over and over and over again, to the point where I begged my mom for Christmas that year, get me this Halloween movie. Please get me this Halloween movie. Get me this Halloween movie. I want nothing else but this Halloween movie. Inevitably, my father ended up getting it for me. And also an iPod Nano Mini for Christmas. If you remember the iPod Nano Minis, things are legit. At that time, I thought it was a good movie. Sure, it gave Michael a backstory. But now, me being older, almost 30, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this movie is just fucking atrocious. From the dialogue to the acting. I mean, Danielle Harris, who is a horror alumni, to Scout Taylor Compton, or Taylor Scout Compton, however the hell you say her name. And then you got Brad Dourif. Brad Dourif was the only saving grace in the 2 Halloween films. He gives wonderful performances. Dee Wallace as Laurie Strode's mom. Kim Faree, Joe Grizzly, bitch. The problem that I have with these 2 movies is that Rob Zombie's dialogue in any horror film is absolutely abysmal. I mean, I cuss like a sailor, but I don't use fucking cunt and slut and whore every other fucking sentence. Jesus. When I pop that movie in and I'm sitting around my family, extended family, because we had a death in the family at the time, but we had family around. And I popped that movie in, and the first word is, I'll choke my chicken and spray my gunk all over them floppy ass tits. I immediately turned off the fucking movie. I'm 13. I shouldn't be hearing this shit. Thank God I didn't go see it in the theaters. I ended up having to watch it on my own time, and as a kid, I laughed. But now it's just like, why the fuck would you put that in a film? How could Malek Akkad approve of this script? Rob Zombie, for better or worse, is a wonderful director. His cinematography is among the top tier in horror film status. I cannot wait to see what he does with the monsters, because I don't know if it's going to have the same dialogue or not. But at the same time, somebody needs to wrap a fucking cord around his neck and pull the reins down on his writing. What in the hell is he doing? I mean, if you like that kind of dialogue in your horror film, by all means, fantastic. You're a stronger person than I am. If your type of film is watching The Last House on the Left, and I bring this up because Cody Leach is doing ranking of Wes Craven films, and this just immediately came to my attention. If your type of horror film is watching somebody get raped and then brutalized, by all means, you're a bigger person than I am. But this is not a Halloween film. This is a Rob Zombie Halloween film. For better or fucking worse. And that's why it sits at number 9. Or 8. Whichever number it is. Next one is Halloween H2O. I know I've been singing his praises since it started, but it had to end up somewhere, people. It's not a bad Halloween film, but it's damn sure not a good Halloween film. There's a lot of people that say this movie feels like Scream, and inevitably it does, because Scream wrote the template for horror films in the 90s. That's it. Scream was the most successful slasher film since the 80s. Horror was dying, and if Wes Craven hadn't came up with the idea for Scream and released Scream, horror would probably be dead. Out comes Halloween H2O. The only problem that I have with Michael in this film is that you can see his eyes. That's it. If you would have fixed that, this movie would probably go up 4 spaces. Sure, the dialogue and everything is kind of trashy. The score feels like a Scream film. But then again, what movie in the 90s didn't feel like a Scream film? That's it. I don't really have a lot bad to say about Halloween H2O. It just had to fall at some point. Above that, Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. I mean, these two interchange. They could interchange at any given point, just like the bottom two. I don't really have a lot of problems with Halloween 6 like most people do. You got a brutalized Michael Myers. You got great kills. The best looking mask since Halloween 2. I mean, what is there to say about it that hasn't already been said? And the only reason why this one is somewhat near the top is because a friend of mine from Killer Flicks by the name of Lee McCoy sent me his version where he pieces together both cuts of the film. It's the only way I watch the film. Whenever I do watch it, which is very, very rarely. Next one above that is Halloween 4. The best sequel up until we get to other films. And I'm probably going to get a lot of shit. So, buckle in, kids. Halloween 4 brought Michael back. It's a pretty known fact that John Carpenter was not wanting to do a Halloween film outside of the first one. But it was, at one point, the most successful independent horror film ever made. It damn near quintupled its budget. It brought in, I think, $50 million overall at the box office on a $330,000 budget. Yes, I will get into that part whenever I talk about the first film. I mean, Halloween 4 brought Michael back. The only problem I have with it is the mask. That's going to be a lot of the bottom rung films aside from the Rob Zombie's Halloween film. Rob Zombie's Halloween film had one good thing about it. It was the best looking mask since the original film. Neither here nor there. But Halloween 4's only problem that I have with the film is Michael Myers' mask. It's too glossy. It doesn't have enough definition like the original film and the second film had. That's it. Number 4. Halloween 2018. Oh boy. So, I'm a fan. Halloween is my bread and butter. Halloween is my baby. Halloween is my favorite franchise out of every horror franchise. So, when Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 came out, I was like, okay, he's going to do another one. And then I was reading online about Halloween 3D. I'm like, okay, this seems pretty legit. Script gets scrapped. We don't hear anything for a while. And then there's a script for a movie called Halloween. Well, a movie gets greenlit for a movie called Halloween Returns. Like, okay. I was reading the plot details and it sounded pretty good. It's canned. And then there's rumblings. A production company by the name of Blumhouse is eyeing to pick up the Halloween franchise. They pick it up. Jamie Lee Curtis is cast in the movie, and attached to the movie is Danny McBride and David Gordon Green. They already have a script, and it will be filmed next year. Holy shit, this is happening. And then around June or July 2018, the trailer drops. And it looks fucking good. So as a fan, I'm like, okay, this could be good. It has its problems, as any film nowadays will. There will never be a perfect horror film now. Because every idea, everything has been done. And been done to fucking death. So the idea was, or is, let's retcon every sequel after the original Halloween film. Michael has been in a mental institution since 1978. Laurie has been dealing with PTSD. Her every marriage she has had has failed. Her kids want nothing. Her daughter wants nothing to do with her. Her granddaughter wants everything to do with her, but her mother is keeping her away from seeing her grandmother. It's an amalgam of emotions and an amalgam of everything just gone wrong for the past 40 years. There's problems with this film. There's a couple things I would have changed and would have been better. Number one, do not have Sartain be the person to plan Michael's escape. You have Laurie in her truck drinking herself stupid. And when he gets on the bus and she screams, you couldn't have... Leave out the scream. Have her white knuckle the steering wheel. Have her grip it. Have her sit there think for a few minutes. Have the bus go past her. She drinks another bottle. Have her white knuckle the steering wheel cover again. She slams that damn truck in drive and she follows that bus. She hits the quarter panel on the bus, has to do a spin out, and the bus crashes. She comes to, she says, oh no, what the hell have I just done? And she hauls ass to Haddonfield to let everybody know what she had done, only for Michael to get there first. And she has to deal with the fact that she's the reason why Michael is running rampant in Haddonfield again. And she has every reason, and she wants nothing more than to stop him from causing mayhem again. That is what they should have done. Instead, we have some batshit cooked fucking doctor by the name of Ron Sartain, who puts on Michael Myers' mask, stabs fucking Will Paxton, or Bill... Is it Bill Paxton? He stabs the damn doctor in the neck with a fucking knife pin. Somehow there's a knife that detaches from this pin and sticks him in the neck. Luckily, he survives. And have him be the reason why Michael is running rampant in Haddonfield. Only for him to get his fucking face stomped in. Which we saw a better version of that face stomping kill in Halloween, or Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but that's besides the point. This film had great kills. A wonderful Michael. The plot and everything for the film is one of the better ideas than a bunch of the other films. Comedy felt lacking in a couple of places. Peter Butter on my penis guy could go suck a dick if you ask me, but that's besides the point. I don't know, it's just... There's a couple little tweaks that they should have made before releasing the film that could have made this movie so much better. It's a good film, but it is not the best. Well, I mean, obviously to me it's one of the better Halloween sequels, but it could have been so much better. It could have been number 2 if this film would have just changed a couple little things. Like the whole plot point of the reason why nobody can get a hold of Allison is because her drunken ass boyfriend dumps it in a bowl of nacho cheese. Like, what the fuck? Why? I don't know. But it's number 4. Process of elimination needs to be done at this point. There's 3 films left. The original, the 1981 sequel, and Halloween Kills. Where's everything going to fall? I can tell you. Or I can have you guess. Nah, I'm just going to tell you. Number 3 is Halloween Kills. This film is so fucking divisive right now. There's 3 films just shredding the horror community right now. You have Halloween Kills in October that just split the fucking horror community down the middle. You either love this film or you fucking hate this film. Then in January, Scream came out. You either love this film or you hate this film. Me and my wife are completely fucking torn on this on Scream. I loved Scream. She fucking hated Scream. She's a Scream fan. That is her favorite franchise ever. Mine is Halloween. And as you can see, we are a split household. And then the most recent one is the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. I loved it. I will give my thoughts on that in the next video. But a local theater in my area was able to get Halloween Kills 2 days before it released. I looked at my wife, my lovely blushing bride, and I said, listen, we're going to go see this film. I need to see it before I go fucking stupid. She said, okay, when are we going to go see it? I said, today. She said, how are we going to see it today? The theater up the road from us is able to get an early screening for it. She said, okay, let's go. We get in there, we're surrounded by Halloween fans, or quote-unquote Halloween fans. And I'm just glued. I am glued to the damn screen. I loved it. I fucking love Halloween Kills. For the longest time, all I have wanted was to see Michael Myers go Jason Voorhees one fucking time. That's all I wanted. And my wish got complete. For lack of a better term. It has some of the most impressive kills I've seen in a horror film. I.e. the flashlight tube to the throat. And it leaves a wonderful cliffhanger for what's going to happen in Halloween Ends. If you've seen the movie, you know what's about to come. If you haven't seen the movie, click off. I don't want to spoil the ending for you, but Karen dies. Karen dies, And the way that the test screening was supposed to go was, or the way that the test screening went, Karen dies, but before she dies, she picks up the phone to talk to Lori. And Lori hears Karen get stabbed and everything, and Michael picks up the phone and he puts it to his ear like he did in the original film. And all Lori says is, "Michael, I'm coming for you." And she's walking through the hospital with a knife. I would have much preferred that ending than the ending that we got. Michael just staring out the fucking window. That's the only question I have, is like, what is the idea, or the what is the implication of the house to him? Like, what is it about that one specific room that is drawing him? And the flashback sequence, holy shit, on a shingle in summer on a rainy fucking day. The flashback sequence is easily the best thing to come out of a Halloween film. It is the most 1978 feeling Halloween anything outside of the original film. The mask is on point. The dude that played Michael done it perfectly. I couldn't, like, just the way he was able to move so swiftly, like he was in the wind. And the Loomis character. Apparently how it is that Christopher Nelson found a guy on the set that looked a lot like Dr. Loomis, so they done the makeup on him, gave him the goatee and everything, and put him in makeup, and that's how they shot the flashback sequence. It wasn't CGI'd, it was practical. And Christopher Nelson, if you somehow ever watch this, if you somehow ever hear this, you have made a horror fan, a Halloween fan, feel giddy by seeing Michael Myers on the screen again. The only problem with this film, 3 words, and I am not going to say it. I will not say it. I will keep my fans away from hearing those 3 goddamn words. But it's my number 3. So which one's going to be number 2? Which one's going to be number 1? Put your comments down below. Obviously, the second best film in this franchise will be Halloween 2. So, what I want to do is I'm going to talk about Halloween 1 and then Halloween 2. I could put Halloween 2 at number 1 because it was the first one I remember watching. But I'm not going to do that. I have watched the original Halloween film more times than I've watched any other movie. There's only one other movie I have seen about the same amount as I've watched Halloween, and that's Stand By Me. Stand By Me is my favorite non-horror film ever made. I know there's better horror films, or I know there's better films. I know that Stand By Me isn't that good, but for some reason, I just love that fucking movie. It is amazing. So let's talk about this. 1978, John Carpenter and Deborah Hill made one of the single most influential horror films ever made. On a budget of $330,000. This is the... People want to say it's $300,000. It's not $300,000. It's $330,000. Because Donald Pleasence wanted $30,000 for the role of Dr. Loomis. So John goes to Moustapha Akkad and he gets it approved and they make the film. Little did they know the fucking titan they were making in the horror film, or in the horror genre. There's only one other film that I put alongside or above Halloween, and that's The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. But it created a whole new subgenre in horror, the slasher. And as a lot of people would say, if Halloween opened the door, Friday the 13th kicked the fucking door down. And I can agree with that. But I can also say two things. Without Halloween, we would not have My Bloody Valentine, April Fool's Day, Friday the 13th, or any other, and I mean any other holiday-themed horror film. Because the first film to do it was Halloween. Victor Miller and Sean Cunningham have came out and flatly said they wanted to make a Halloween ripoff. Done a horrible Halloween ripoff, but a wonderful whodunit perspective horror film. I mean, there's nothing you can say about Halloween that hasn't already been said. It's one of the most influential horror films of all time. It spawned a genre that is still running rampant today. For better or worse, in my opinion, but it is still running rampant today. And it gave us a franchise that after 40 years is still able to pump out millions upon millions of dollars. I just wish that Victor Miller and Sean Cunningham can go ahead and get their heads out of their asses and strike up a deal so that way we can get another Friday the 13th film. A lot of my memorabilia behind me is Friday the 13th. And the reason being, it is a lot easier to find Friday the 13th shit than it is Michael Myers shit. But that's besides the point. And it gave us a good follow-up to it with More Than ID Came Home and Halloween 2. Halloween 2 has my favorite kill out of the Halloween franchise. And that's the bathtub kill. Just the way Michael is able to put his hand in the scalding hot water that is melting the nurse's face, but his hand is coming up and nothing is happening to it. Let you know that something about Michael is supernatural and fucking pure, cold, decrepit evil. I prefer the mask in Halloween 1, even though Halloween and Halloween 2 are the exact same mask. It's just that Deborah Hill kept it in a fucking book and she smoked in her bedroom underneath, and it was underneath her bed for 3 years. So it wasn't properly kept. But it added a whole new evil menacing look to the mask that we had yet seen. It was still the same mask, it just didn't fit Dick Warlock's head. I wish they would have gotten Nick Castle back for the second one, but that's besides the point. All in all, people, this is my favorite franchise. It has always been my favorite franchise. I hope they continue to pump out more Halloween films until the day I die. There's multiple timelines, there's multiple ways that you can go about it. I had an idea for a film, if I was good at writing scripts, and if I could pitch an idea to a movie company, I came up with an idea for a Halloween film a long time ago. So, we see what happens to Laurie after the events of Halloween H2O. What about John? What about his girlfriend? So, the idea I came up with is 10 years after the events of Halloween H2O, John and his girlfriend are still together. John is trying to live with the fact that he has a murderous uncle in the family, but also dealing with the death of his mother, because this ties in with resurrection. He's living out in the middle of nowhere because he doesn't want Michael to find him, only for something to get out about his past life and about his new life that Michael overhears, and he comes to find him in a small town and just wreaks havoc on this new town. And I would have called it Halloween Homecoming, I think. That was the name I came up with. I don't know. It was just an idea I had as a young kid. Or you could have went the other route with picking up after the events of Halloween Resurrection. Or you retcon Halloween 6 and give Jamie a new timeline. Like, there's an idea that I had also that Halloween 6 never happened. The Curse of Michael Myers never happened. The only thing that we see at the beginning of this other Halloween film that I was wanting to do, at the beginning, you see the ending to Halloween 5. Jamie and Michael just gone. Where do they go? Jamie is on the lam. Michael got I don't know. How did it go? Jamie is still fearing for her uncle. Like, she's still in hiding. She ran away. She's on the lam somehow. Michael got taken by the Man in Black, and he comes after her. I don't know. My idea for the sequel to Halloween H2O is a lot better than any other idea that I came up with. The one for Halloween Homecoming, it took me hours just sitting down and thinking about everything. I mean, you could do a lot more. You can create a better title for it, but essentially 10 years or 10 or 20 years after it was 10 years. Now it would be like 20 or something. 20 years after the events of Halloween H2O, John and his girlfriend are now married. They have children. He's in hiding, kind of like his mother was, dealing with the thought that Michael came back to try to kill him, and just dealing with the trauma of his mother dying. Only for Michael to come back and try to kill him. Kind of like Halloween H2O, but better. I don't know. You guys, I haven't been able to do anything. My laptop has been fucking up. It just now decides to work. So whenever it decides to work, that's whenever I'm able to do videos and shit. Put your comments down below. Let me know what you think. If it's an idea, shoot your ideas, man. I like doing shit like this. Keep looking forward for my Texas Chainsaw Massacre review. I got more rankings coming. And just keep looking for reviews on movies, man. Y'all have a good day.